Oh, hey, Shroom. How you doing, man? Yeah, I was up early, so I figured I'd just do a stream, see how all this goes. Had kind of an uneventful weekend, but those are always good too. Caught up on my sleep, I guess, or rest anyway. I don't know about the sleep. Had some shitty ass weather this week up here. Oh man, had a windstorm Monday night that made a mess, and then had a windstorm Saturday morning that made a mess. So luckily, no animals were harmed in the windstorm and no fences were broken. So that's a miracle right there. Hell of a way to start off March. What is it? Comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. And don't they have that saying about March? Oh man, look, you can join me and we can talk for a while if you want to. Just shoot the shit. Apparently, I got email. Yeah, it got up to 50 miles an hour up here this morning. Yeah, it was a constant of about 30, 35, and then you get the gusts that were like 50, 55. I appreciate that, Beezy. But yeah, it was horrible up here this week. And then we had rain and rain and rain and rain and rain and more rain and more rain. So, man, weather's just been weird. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Shrimp. I understand that. I'll try to keep you entertained. Are you not entertained? No, not yet. Okay, well, fair enough. I get that. Oh, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been nasty weather up here. Nasty. Then I go to the store today and I come home and there's two military helicopters flying in formation past my house. Two that I'd never seen before. They've got the big like radar arms on the front of them. So I don't know what they were doing or where they were going. But I live on a military flight path. I get jets, I get helicopters, I get what are those ospreys that the Marines use. And usually when the jets fly over, they either fly in a pair or in threes when they fly by my house. And sometimes it sounds like they're trying to land in my damn front yard. But it is what it is. Yeah, I got up about 3 o'clock, ate me a little bit of breakfast, had me some coffee. I figured I'd do a stream. I ain't done one in a while. But oh wait, was I talking about that YouTube email I got? Oh yeah, apparently a stream I did a year ago is not appropriate for kids, and so they hid it from people under 18. Well, you know what? My whole damn channel's supposed to be hid from people under 18. I've set it to adults only, 18 plus, in the studio. So all of them should be hidden from kids. because this channel is not for kids, hence the title and the description. But yet YouTube seemed to think that they needed to send me an email about this one stream I did last year. I think it was before Halloween. So I don't know. YouTube needs to get their shit together is what they need to do. But that won't happen. Pardon my French. We'll see if anybody shows up. Maybe, maybe not. You know, the link's pinned there at the top of the chat. So if you want to come up and shoot the shit, we can go ahead. I prefer to stay away from religion and politics because people tend to get hot and pissed off about stuff like that. But I mean, if you want to talk about religion and politics, we can do that too. I'm not necessarily going to tell you I'll agree with everything you say, but we can talk about it. But I mean, it's up to you. Your choice. I just didn't see anybody live. So I figured I'd do until something better comes along. And I know YouTube has been kind of shitty with their notifications and everything here lately. So yeah, nobody may even see that I'm live. So and they switched around your homepage so that you have to actually click on the live tab to see my videos because I don't make pre-made videos and upload them. Somebody said, "Oh, make them about cats or puppies or fish or some shit." And I'm like, "No, I do live streams. That's what I do." But you got to click on live to see everything that I've done. And some of it goes way back to the Google Hangout days before they nuked that shit. I don't know if they realized they were losing money on it or what, or why they did it. I never heard the story on that. I heard a lot of conjecture and guesses, but I never heard the actual story of why they did it. And I mean, Google Hangouts was fun. I mean, it could get really unruly really quick because everybody tried to talk over each other. I tried to keep a firm grip on that of people talking over each other. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And I try to do that with StreamYards too. But, you know, I haven't had a guest in a while, so it's not really been a problem. It's just been me sitting here rambling. Oh, hey, Shroom, if you're still out there listening, um, I made a pot of chili, and it turned out pretty damn good. I took chili beans and fried up some hamburger and used a can of tomato soup. I didn't use the tomato sauce. That shit's too thick. I used a can of tomato soup, and I put it in the pot and let it boil. Put it in the crock pot and let it boil for about a day. And then I found this package of stew beef that I had. And I didn't even know I had it. It was shoved all the way in the back of the freezer. I let it thaw out, um, and then I added that to the chili. Man, that was good shit. And the only seasonings I put in it was pepper and a little bit of chili powder and a little bit of garlic salt. That was it. Because, well, Dad taught me how to make a chili that would melt your face off, but I can't eat shit like that anymore. I just can't. It burns going down, and it burns on the inside, and then it'll burn coming out. I just can't do it no more. The only thing I needed to get to put in it was white onion, and chop that up real fine and let that melt into the stew, the chili stew. So, but I didn't get one, and I had finished it by the time I thought about it. So I was just like, well, it's good like it is. So there you go. It is good. I took half of it and put it in the freezer, and I ate the other half until I got tired of eating chili, and I was like, I want something different. So, but I still got it in the freezer. I can pop it out and let it thaw at any time, and just have me some more chili. But yeah, I can't eat that spicy, melt your face off stuff anymore. Uh, I can't even eat potato chips like that, or Fritos, or whatever. I did too much of that when I was young. I ate too much crap like that when I was young, and now I can't do it anymore. In my teens and 20s and 30s, yeah, I'd eat shit like that all the time. Not anymore. It takes its toll. Yeah, I was a little iffy about putting the stew beef in there with the chili. Man, it was good because the chili beans and the hamburger and it all kind of flavored together with the little bit of chili powder. I put like maybe a teaspoon of chili powder in the whole thing, and maybe a teaspoon of garlic salt in the whole thing. And once that had stewed for like 12 hours, man, that was great. It was great. Oh, I know you do. I know you do, Shroom. I've heard you talk about how you cook, and it just hearing you talk about it makes my stomach burn. I've got to get a Alka Seltzer. But yeah, yeah, an Alka Seltzer or a Tums or a Rolaids or something like that. Yeah, it's just my guts will start going grrr. I'm like, yeah, I know, I know. Oh yeah, yep, yep. Well, I just put it on the counter and let it thaw out, and I had the chili on low anyway because it had done boiled up and did its thing. And then I was like, well, what about this? And so I chopped up the the stew beef, and put it in the chili, and yeah, that went together very nicely, very very nicely. Had a little bit of fat in it, but I let it simmer until the fat boiled off of it. Man, the flavor, mwah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I stumbled on something here. which is usually what I do when I cook stuff. I'll put it together and see how it tastes. And if it tastes all right, hey, score. If it doesn't taste so good, well, try again. But this ain't a cooking show. Not a totally all about cooking. So, but the last thing that I will bring up that I really want, pardon my French, um, is I want to make some homemade nacho cheese uh, with tortilla chips in it. And I got to go to the store and get some tortilla chips to go in it. But I've got the hamburger and the beans and like I said, I use tomato soup. I don't use the tomato paste. I've got a couple of cans of tomato paste in there, but that probably wouldn't go good. And then throw that in the crock pot. Let that boil up, and then put it in uh, well, I've got these. They're not Tupperware. They're actually made out of porcelain, but they've got plastic lids, and I can make enough to fill up one of those, and then I'll have nacho cheese for a week. Which was the mistake that I made with the chili. I made too much. That's why I had to put half of it in the freezer. I was like, I saved this for later. Well, yeah, like I said, sometimes mistakes are made, and you just got to roll with it. Nothing to beat yourself up about. What kind of cheese were you trying to use? Oh, are you back? What kind of cheese were you trying to use to make the sauce? Cheddar or Swiss or what? Oh, people are hopping on and dropping and hopping on and dropping. Like I said, we can talk about anything you want to. I prefer to stay away from politics and religion. But if you want to start a fight now, we can talk about it. But I've only been live for like 20 minutes. So I'm sure some people haven't caught up with me being live. Uh, because, YouTube, it's kind of shitty about notifying people. But, hey. But it's cool, Shroom. I mean, I'm sorry you're in so much pain. I mean, I do. I really do. I know how it is sometimes. Because where I took that rib shot, sometimes when it rains, like it did last week, I'll wake up and it'll feel like it happened like yesterday. So, so I mean, if anybody's watching or lurking, and you got the balls to come up, other than Shroom, because he said he was in pain. So, I mean, if he feels like he wants to later, that's fine. I'll probably go for about an hour. I figure. If it's just me sitting here talking. Because honestly, I'm not that interested. I'm really not. But nobody's perfect. If you want a little advice from your Uncle Rex, if you want to get in good with somebody, just sit there and listen to them. Just let them talk. Let them ramble like I'm doing, and just kind of nod and smile every once in a while, even if you're not really listening to what they say. But it's better if you do listen to what they say, because they'll probably ask you about it later. I'm just saying, you ain't got to be the center of attention. Because I've come across a bunch of people on YouTube. They have to be the center of attention. If they go on somebody else's stream and everybody's not talking about them, they get mad. They get big mad or triggered, like the kids say today. They get triggered. Shit, man. I ain't got to talk all the time. I mean, I like having conversations with people, but it ain't got to be all about me. So there's that. I used to have a friend. He used to teach geology at a college. It was a local college, and he and I both had a passion for astronomy. And we were sitting in a room with like maybe 10 other people, and he and I were talking astronomy, and the other people sitting in the room were looking at us like we were speaking Greek or something, or ancient Egyptian or some shit like that. They were just lost. And me and him, I mean, he and I knew exactly what we were talking about. It was funny. I looked around and I was like, oh, okay, maybe we should change the subject. Well, this was before I knew him when he taught geology at a local college. And then he worked for the oil companies for a while trying to find oil. He was their go to geologist. Man, the dude was rich. I'm just saying, he was rich. Good job if you can get it. But yeah, when we were like having a semi informal party, we tried not to talk astronomy shit in front of other people. If it was just me and him sitting there, yeah, we could talk about it all day long. And he'd school me on geology, and he knew about a little bit about how to be an electrician, enough not to, electrocute himself. So there was that. He taught me a little bit about uh, how not to shock myself to death if I was working on some kind of electrical thing. So yeah, he was a good friend. He suddenly died. Broke my heart. Good dude. Bad taste in women though. He had a really shitty taste in women. I tried to talk to him about it, but he wasn't hearing it. So, I let it go. Which, I've got a really shitty taste in women too, because I'm single. I've never been married and I don't have any kids. So apparently I have a shitty taste in women too. So I should not be giving people advice about that. So about relationships or whatever. I mean, I had some really good girlfriends, and uh, I was engaged like 7 times. But, you know, I wasn't dumb enough to actually get married or actually have a kid because I knew I wasn't ready for it. I just was not ready for it. I'm watching a commercial on TV, and dude just fucked up his mac and cheese. I need to make some mac and cheese. I haven't had that in a while neither. So fry up a little bit of the hamburger I got left and make the mac and cheese and stir in the hamburger and let it boil for a while. See, I'm talking about food again. God damn it. I tend to do that because that's become my hobby. Well, my hobby and my means of not like eating fast food or pre-processed food all the time because that shit'll kill you. Go buy those Michelin meals or pot pies or what it fish sticks and crap like that. That you eat that all the time, it's gonna kill you. I've got a whole roasted chicken in the freezer that I got from Walmart. Might do something with that. Make some chicken salad or something out of that. I try not to eat anything out of a can except for like soup or something. You know, like chicken noodle soup or uh, what is it? There's one that they've got. It's sirloin beef burger soup thing that I like pretty good. But if I make potato soup, I make it myself. I get the potatoes and mash them up and add some water, pepper, some onions, let it boil up for a day in the crock pot. I've got two crock pots. God damn it, I'm talking about food again. Shit. Oh, hey, Purple. You want to hop up? The link should be pinned at the top of the chat. Yeah, I try not to eat a bunch of pre-processed stuff either. I get my beef fresh. I get my chickens fresh usually, and or at least my eggs. Now that this bird flu crap seems to have passed, and they're starting to lay again. I have a cousin that had a flock. Half of her flock died, and the other half went sterile. So she's like working on a new flock. So we'll see how that works out for her. I try to get my pig fresh from the farm, and I've tried goat. I've tried goat. It's really that's a complicated thing to cook for me anyway. So, but I thought I did it pretty good. I salted and peppered the meat down and uh, put it in the oven, let it bake. Not for too long, because it'll get tough if you let it bake for too long. Oh yeah, it's 5 o'clock here. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, my time. Well, I mean, it's up to you. There's no pressure. I can sit here and ramble. And I'm talking about food again. Fuck. Okay. And I try to get all my vegetables fresh in the fall because I help plant them. I'll plant corn, and, uh, green beans, peas and pumpkins and just all kinds of shit. And when it's harvest time, I try to get all that fresh, and I either can it or I'll stick it in the freezer. I usually stick it in the freezer because I'm lazy, and canning stuff takes a lot of effort. I mean, I know how to do it, but it still takes a lot of effort. Because I watched my grandmother do it, can stuff, and I watched my dad can stuff, and my dad and mom, they both can stuff. They would can tomatoes. So they'd mash up the tomatoes and put them in a can and set them on the fire. And the lid either worked right or it didn't, and it sealed. But if it didn't seal right, we just ate it before it went bad. Okay, well that's fair. No, I'm not going to talk about food anymore. What do y'all want to talk about? I've just been sitting here watching movies since I got up. Uh, I ate some biscuits and gravy and had some coffee. And what did I watch? Oh, I watched The Empire Strikes Back. And now I'm watching Dread, the one with Keith Urban in it, where he never takes his helmet off, which is how Judge Dredd was in the comic books. And I like it a lot better than I do the Sylvester Stallone version. Oh, well, it's got Lena Headley, however the hell you say her last name, the chick that played Cersei in the Game of Thrones, and I liked her character a lot. She's the villain in the movie. I just like her a lot. I like her as an actress. She's good at it. If you can play a character and everybody fucking hates you, you're doing a good job. I think I heard her say one time in an interview that she was at a like Comic Con or something like that, and people were getting autographs, and nobody asked for her autograph because everybody hated her. I was like, I would be the first in line to get her autograph because she's a great actress. Yeah, they were getting like, what's her name? Amelia Clark and Jason Momoa and whoever the guy that played Samuel Tarly was, and the guy that played Jon Snow, and yeah, they were like miles of lines to get their autograph, and she like had almost nobody. I would I would have got her autograph and stood there and talked to her and pissed everybody off behind me. So if there was anybody behind me, like I said, nobody wanted her autograph. Oh, the dude that played Joffrey, yeah, I would have got his autograph too because that was good acting. He quit acting after he left Game of Thrones and went to teach, teach acting at a university. Nice guy. I mean, you watch anything where he gives a lecture, nice dude. Nice, probably one of the nicest dudes you'd want to ever meet. But man, he could play evil. I'm just saying. He was good at it. He was actually in one of, I think, the first Christian Bale Batman movie. He was the little kid sitting on the fire escape and had a few lines that he said to Batman. That was him. That's where he got his start. Excuse me. I'm a little snotty today. The weather keeps changing and it does that to me. Oh, hey, She Devil. Hope you're doing all right and had a pretty good weekend so far. I've had worse weekends. I'm just saying. With all the wind and the rain and the crap we've had for the past week, we didn't lose power. Knock on wood. And that made me happy. Because I could have, man. Oh, we lost power on Christmas Eve. I went to sleep on Christmas Eve morning. Everything was fine. I woke up, no power. It came on about 2:30 in the afternoon, my time. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. It's the Christmas miracle. Because, yeah, there'd have been a lot of pissed off people had there not been any power over Christmas. Hi and good night. Did she double leap? Okay. Well, fair enough. At least she said hi. Hey, I appreciate that. Now, Shroom, if you're still out there, and I'm going to start talking about fucking food again. Um, do you make your own gravy or do you buy it in the pack like I do? Which is kind of shitty, but you know. My granny used to make all this stuff, but she never wrote any of it down. So there's not like a cookbook I could go by that she made, which made me sad when I looked everywhere and couldn't find it. Couldn't find one. And like you probably heard me say, I live out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that, purple. Well, I'll take fresh potatoes and mash them up. God damn it, I'm talking about food again. Shit. Okay, I'll take fresh potatoes and mash them up, and then I'll add a packet of that white gravy to the mashed potatoes and let them boil. And then I'll make some peas to go with it because I like peas. That's just me. And I did cook broccoli in the air fryer one time, and that shit was great. It was. I put some like shredded cheese over them and run it through the microwave so the cheese would melt. Man, that was great. Okay, no more food talk. Come on now. But it's like astronomy. I can talk about food and astronomy until your ears fall off. So, oh, and physics too, because I started with astronomy and then I was like, why is all this shit happening the way it happens? So I started to learn physics and I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense now. The two kind of go together. So, did anybody see the Venus and Jupiter conjunction in the sky that looked really big? I mean, I couldn't see it because it was nasty here this week, and so I missed it. But I've seen pictures of it, and Venus looks really big. You know what caused that? It's called gravitational lensing. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It'd take me too long to explain it here. It's complicated because Jupiter's really big, and Venus is about the size of Earth, and it caused gravitational lensing that made Venus look really big. Oh, fair enough. Pets, I don't have any pets. When my last dog died like 2 years ago, excuse me, pardon my French. 2.5 years ago, I don't want any more pets because he was a good dog. He was a rescue dog. His name was Pepper. He was a Dotson, a long-haired brown Dotson, and he was older than they told me he was. Well, they probably didn't know anyway when I got him. Um, they didn't know exactly, and he was a good dog. He was my doorbell. When anybody pulled up to the house, roof, 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 roof. I mean, he sounded like a Rottweiler when somebody came to the door. He actually scared off the UPS guy once. He came by, the UPS guy dropped off a package, and he went barking at the door. I didn't even have the door open, but he heard his bark and took off running back to his truck. It was funny shit. Oh, that was some fucking funny shit. I was like, "What are you doing scaring the UPS guy?" And he just looked at me like, it's my job." But yeah, when he died a couple of years ago, I'm done with pets for now because he had a good life. Uh, when he got here, I'd feed him chicken or tuna or sardines or ham. Man, he ate that shit like it was trying to get away from me. So, well, he was saved by this other guy from neglect from his owner, and the other guy had like 15 other Dachshunds. So when it was feeding time, he had to fight for his food. So I could see why he was like that. And the fucker was smart too. He would be back in his room. He had his own room. Uh, And I would be sitting here and I would open a bag of beef jerky, and it's like, boom, he was right there. He was like, can I have some? I was like, man, I got this for me. He was like, yeah, but I want some. So I would give him a couple of pieces and he'd be fine. Then when I close it, he'd hear me open the bag. Seriously, he would hear me open the bag and he knew what it was. He was like, oh, yeah. So then I'd close the bag up and set it down. And he'd sit there and look at me for a minute. Is that all? I was like, yeah, that's all I wanted. And I'm pretty sure that's all you needed. So, yeah, he didn't eat dog food. No, he wasn't a dog food dog. So, well, when he died, I'm pretty sure he was right around 15. Because he went blind the year before he died, which you could look in his eyes and see that there was glaucoma all over the place. His eyes were just like clouded up. But he was fine. He could smell and hear and get around. And he'd go outside and go to the bathroom. And I let him out one day, and I looked to see if he needed to come back in because he usually scratches the door when he needed to come back in. But no, he was sitting there looking at the sun because I'm pretty sure that was all he could see anymore. If he could see that. But he was sitting there looking at the sun. And then right around Thanksgiving, 2 years ago, he had a stroke and it killed him. So I don't know. Maybe the shit I fed him had too much stuff in it, or maybe he just got old and had a stroke because his front paw curled up. His right front paw curled up and he couldn't hardly get around. So I got him some of them puppy training pads for his room so he didn't have to go back outside. And he used those pretty good. But yeah, I went in there one day and to check on him because I hadn't heard him in a while. And there was his eyes were frozen open. There was blood running out of his nose, and he had stopped breathing. I was like, well, I guess that's it. And yeah, since then, no, I haven't had any more pets. Not a fish, not a bird, not a cat, not another dog, not a mouse, not anything, not a snake, nothing. I'm content to be here alone because I got the nickname Rex when I was a kid because my dad had a pack of beagles that he used to hunt rabbits. And since I was big enough to carry a 5 gallon bucket of water and food down there to feed them, um, I did that. And everybody in the neighborhood and all my friends started calling me Rex because I was like part of the pack or whatever. So that's where that nickname came from. So I've always been called Rex. And Clockwork comes from the movie A Clockwork Orange because I really, really, really like that movie. I'm trying not to give out too much information, but I'm trying to keep this going for a little while, at least an hour. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's fair. That is fair. I get that, Purple. I really do. But I'm at the point now, I'm done. I'm done with animals. My sister has a bunch of cats that she's rescued. She's like, do you want a cat? I'm like, no, I don't want a cat. Well, they'll take care of the mice. I don't care. I can get decon and mouse traps, and I don't want any more pets for right now. I might change my mind later, but right now I don't want any more pets. If I want to pet something, There's cows all around my house, and I'll toss them an apple, and they'll come up and I can pet them on the head. So if I want to pet something, there's things to pet. I don't do that to goats. When I go to the goat farm, no, man, I keep all the goats in front of me as best as I can, or else they will get you. They will come up behind you and get you. They're evil. So are chickens. They'll peck you on the ankles if you let them. And once they see blood, oh, it's over then. You got all the chickens coming after you, and you got to just start kicking those some bitches. Now, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to save your damn feet and ankles. Oh yeah, roosters are bastards. They'll chase you down if you invade their territory, their perceived territory. They will chase you down. Well, we've got something up here that's actually killing and eating chickens because my neighbor across the road, which is like a mile away, um, used to have a bunch of chickens and now they're gone. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's hunting them. Could be foxes. It could be a pack of dogs. I don't know. Because, well, in the cow pastures around my house, we've got donkeys mixed in with the cows. And a donkey will stomp the shit out of a coyote, stomp it out into the ground, into a blood hole in the ground. Something about how they smell or whatever. I don't know exactly how that works, but they will. And so it's not coyotes, it's something else. But yeah, I've seen a donkey stomp a coyote. I was like, what's going on? There was a bunch of noise, and I opened the door and looked, and it was a donkey stomping the shit out of a coyote. The donkey was making noise, and the coyote was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, you done fucked up. Oh, and we've got black bears up here where I live. And yeah, if I just catch a glimpse of one of those, I turn around and go back in the house. The beer store and the smoke store and the food store can wait until that damn thing is gone, especially if it's got cubs with it. If it's a mama bear with the cubs, you definitely do not want to fuck with her. She will just attack you because of reasons. Yeah. Even if you aren't threatening the cubs at all, if she perceives that you're threatening the cubs, she's going to come at you. Luckily, they're probably still all asleep now. Maybe. I don't know. It is March. So they might be waking up. Usually they don't wake up till April. But, it's been a weird year for weather up here. We haven't had hardly any snow. It's been mostly warm. So they might wake up a little bit early this year. Pardon my French. Mm. Oh yeah, we've got crows up here that are as big as hawks. Seriously. We've got hawks up here that are as big as vultures. And we've got vultures up here that are as big as condors. So it's like all stepped up. But I did see there was this hawk. Me and when my dad was still alive, we were sitting out there in the yard smoking a cigarette and watching the fire we had made to burn some uh, junk mail and shit like that. Um, we heard this hawk going off. It was like just screeching. And we both looked up, and there were two crows attacking this hawk because it had got too close to their nest. And maybe it had went after their eggs. I don't know. But it was streaking away from the two uh, crows, and they were like plucking feathers out of its wings as fast as they could. And once it got so far away, the crows turned around and went back to their nest. It was funny. We were sitting there laughing because they were tearing that hawk up, taking wing feathers and tail feathers. Yeah, whatever they could get a hold to, they were snatching that shit right out. And it was a big hawk, but those were big crows too. So, and it was two of them. And the hawk was just like, "I'm the fuck out of here. Screw this. I'll find something else to eat somewhere else." Well, the vultures are huge. That's all I'm saying. The vultures or the buzzards or whatever, however you want to, whatever name, they're huge. I saw one sitting on a fence post in one of the cow pastures one day, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And it was a huge buzzard. Well, we call them buzzards up here. They're vultures. I was like, "Damn, you just stay over there. Stay the hell away from me." Oh, and then sometimes in the spring and fall, we have geese fly over, in that V formation. Those are big too. I mean, they're usually a little high up for me to like actually judge how big they are, but they're big. They're big. And you can hear them because they're doing that goose squawk as they fly over. Squawk, 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 squawk. I was tempted to shoot one down and see how good it tastes, but I hadn't done it yet. I just let them do their thing. Oh yeah, those great big huge dragonflies. Yeah, no, no thanks. I will pass. Because I've been out hunting and stumble across a pond or something, and there's dragonflies in the pond. And yeah, those fucking things aren't scared of a damn thing. They will fly right at your face. They aren't scared of shit. And I'm talking about the little ones. Well, they're about maybe 3 inches long from head to tail, and then the wingspan. But yeah, they will stare you down. They will fly right at your face and try to stare you down. So yeah, I'd pass on that. Just say, because if you got one that's like 3 feet long, yeah, okay. If I ain't got my shotgun with me, then yeah, no. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Didn't they have great huge mosquitoes too back then? That'll like suck the blood out of you in one slurp. I mean, big mosquitoes. Yeah. So careful what you wish for. I'm just saying. I'm just, putting that out there. Well, I mean, that's why I don't agree with people who say, I don't like snakes and I don't like spiders. You know what spiders and snakes eat? The shit that is bothersome. Spiders will eat ants and bees and all kinds of stuff, and snakes will eat rats and mice and uh, just all kinds of the bad stuff they eat. So I am cool with a spider and a snake. So they're good in my book. Oh, well, we were running around back then. We were like little fucking rats too. So, I mean, they might not have been as big as I was thinking they were, but I know what you mean about the dragonflies. Yeah, they eat the bad stuff too. So, but if you run up on one, it will fly in front of your face and stare you down. And I know they don't sting, and I know they don't bite, but still, it's creepy as hell. Oh, funny story. I've probably told this before. You probably heard it before. Uh, I came over to help my dad and my neighbor get up hay, and we were getting up hay, and we got the field done, and then Dad brought me back here to where I could get my car and head back to my place. And we pulled in the driveway, and he looked and he said, "Who left a hose laying in the yard?" And I had my glasses on, and I adjusted my glasses a little bit, and I said, "Dad, that's not a hose. That's a snake." And it was about 8 to 10 feet long. It was a black snake. And my mom is deathly afraid of it. It's a phobia. She has a phobia of snakes. So Dad went out there. He did what he did to get rid of it, and he come back and said, "Don't you tell your mom about this, because she will leave this place and never come back." And I was like, "Okay." I still haven't told her about it to this day, and that was like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, maybe. Yeah, she is deathly afraid of snakes. She will freak the hell out. Which I thought it was funny, but that's just me. That's my dark sense of humor. So, but I love my mom and I love my dad. But mom's out. She had to have back surgery in at the beginning of August, and so I let the rent go on my place that I was staying at. And since then, I've been staying here at her place. Well, it was really my grandmother's place, and my dad bought it for her. So when she died, it became my dad's place, and they stayed here. And I had a little shithole apartment, a couple of miles away. And When Dad died, I came here to stay with Mom to take care of her because I didn't want her to be all by herself. Um, and she's actually had two back surgeries, and this second one has really fucked with her. And so my sister's a nurse. Well, Mom was a nurse for like 40 years, and my sister's a nurse now, and so she's out there on the other side of the Chesapeake staying with her. And I was like, well, it's probably good you're out there because this has been kind of a weird winter. So, but yeah, I've been here by myself and I've enjoyed it because I got nobody fucking with me. The only person I have to take care of is myself. And I'm sorry that it broke my heart when Pepper died. That's why I ain't got another dog. Um, but you know, just having to look after me and keep the bills paid and the lights on and all that good shit. It's kind of been a relief for the past couple of years. So, but she'll probably be back up here in the summertime to stay for a little while anyway. We'll see. I mean, it's nice as hell up here in the Appalachians in the summertime. Pretty, uh, pretty good weather. But we'll see. Um, but in the wintertime, yeah, sometimes you'll just get a little bit of snow and ice like we had this year. And sometimes you'll end up with like 4 feet of snow. And so it just depends. You just got to wait and see. I'm feeling like next winter is going to be a hard winter up here. So, since this one has been so mild. Oh, hey, Mrs. T. How are you doing? I missed trivia night on Friday. Hey, Vic. Yeah, I missed trivia night. I don't know what happened. Did something happen and y'all didn't have it, or did I just miss it? Good people. Good people. Mrs. T and Vic. Good people. Always been nice to me. So, you know, I can't say nothing bad about them. I could probably dig up something, but I ain't going that far. But no, yeah, I missed trivia night. So, oh, okay, fair enough. So, really, I didn't miss trivia night. It's just something come up and y'all couldn't have it. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, real life shit happens. So, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Well, most of the time, you got to do what you got to do. But, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I woke up about 3 o'clock this morning, my time, and figured I'd do a live stream. It's been about an hour and 10. Nobody joins me. Everybody leaves me hanging. But that's okay. I've just been rambling about cooking and hunting and wildlife and, just whatever. Hadn't been anything specific. I hope the link's still pinned at the top of the chat because I had to close YouTube. It was making my shit drag on my tablet. So, like going to the store and getting groceries, or you got a neighbor that's sick. and you got to go help them, or I've had that happen. One of my neighbors has got to have something done to his heart, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I'll find out next week sometime because I don't bug the fuck out of him about it. I mean, when your ticker stops ticking, that's it. And he's either got to get a stent or a bypass or something. They're going to figure it out next week sometime. So he's already got 2 stents, as far as I know. But he's a good guy. Do just about anything for you. Yeah. Oh, when my battery died in my truck, he brought me a pair of like heavy duty jumper cables and said, "Here, just keep them." I was like, "What? They're worth like probably 40, $50." He said, "No, just keep them." So I gave him a bunch of the hamburger and cube steak and stew beef and what's that? Oh, I had a great big roast in there. And there was no way that I could eat that by myself. So I gave that to him too because he's got a wife and a couple of kids. And uh, one of his daughters is married to this lazy ass motherfucker. I mean, he doesn't do shit. But, hey, that's not my business. That's not my business. So, but yeah, he's a good guy. He is a really good guy.
Ah,
Well, hello there.
hi.
How's your weekend been so far?
It's been fun. It's been interesting.
Cool, cool. Mine's kind of been uneventful other than the weather. And I was kind of, yeah, have a chill weekend. Yeah, just,
Nice. Yeah, trivia night didn't happen. I figured I'd pop up and say hi to you anyway. But yeah, trivia. We decided to try to quit smoking
oh,
and and drinking on a Friday on a night that we had a show.
oh.
No, yeah, yeah, we figured that one out anyway. Cheers
Okay. Hey,
and yeah, last night ended up going for smokes about 9. I think it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m.
Hmm?
And we even talked to my mom down in Florida, and we told her what we were doing. We're like not fighting with each other, but we were not. It wasn't a pleasant house.
Oh, sure. When you try to quit smoking and drinking, things are going to get a little rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I understand.
She was accusing me of irritating things like breathing and stuff.
You're breathing too loud. Quit breathing through your nose. Stop it. I
Yeah,
get it. I get it.
she always loves helping the kitchen. I decided to go in after dinner and clean the dishes up, get them all in the dishwasher and all that. She wanted to come out and smash those dishes. She hated the sound of it. So
Oh, man.
we don't, and we're not like that. She's not. We don't. 18 years and we don't fight. We didn't fight still, but
It was just a little, rough patch there for a
tense.
minute. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. Well, I tried to quit smoking once, and man, you did not want to be around me. You just did not.
You
So
still
I
smoke? You're a
switched.
smoker still?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I switched to cigars, and that made it better. Made it better. I still get my
Oh,
smoke.
nice. It's not
Yeah.
a bad idea. So what were you talking about? Did you have a pup? Did you have a dog pass? I just tuned in. You were just kind of talking about maybe I don't know if I heard it right. You were talking about a dog that had passed away or something, or
Yeah, like 2 years ago. Yeah, he was a
oh, 2 years.
rescue dodger.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, somebody brought up pets in the chat, and I was like, after that, I'm kind of done for a while. So,
Nice.
so, you know,
Sometimes that's the best way to do it. It's
yeah, give myself a little time,
mm-hmm.
which he was a good dog. His name was Pepper. He was a long-haired brown Dotson who
Oh,
was, yeah, he was probably 11 or 12 years old when I got him, but they didn't know for sure how old he was. So,
no, okay.
yeah. And, being a rescue, you can never really know for sure how old the
Nope.
dog is.
No. How
But he
long?
was like my,
Excuse me. How long did you have them?
oh, I had him for like 4.5 years, 5 years, maybe. So, but yeah, he was like my doorbell. When anybody came, pulled up, and knocked on the door, he was like, "Ruff, ruff, ruff." I mean, he sounded like a big dog. And
And I've seen
if
them
you
long haired Dotsons.
yeah, if you missed the UPS story, the UPS guy came up and dropped a package off at the door, and he went barking like that at the door. I mean, the door was shut, but I looked out the window, and the UPS guy was running back to his truck, full speed and shit. Yeah, I was like, he's
If he had
barely
only
like.
got to see the dog.
He didn't have to hear it. I mean, he didn't have to see it. He just had to hear it. So,
Perfect. That's all you
but yeah,
need.
but yeah.
So
Then a couple of years.
that's been a couple years now. You did you end up getting another pet or
No, not yet. Not yet.
no? You gonna do rescue again if you do?
Yeah, if I do, I will get rescued or go to
Nice.
the pound and get one before they kill it or whatever. Yeah.
Good. That's cool. Yeah,
But I'm just,
we got our ugly little guy, but he's also he's a pug Shih Tzu mix. So
Our first small dog.
yeah, first small dog, and much love to him, but will be the last.
yeah, they've got attitudes. They think they're big dogs. That's the thing about a small dog. It thinks it's a big dog.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But yet, he's gotten too fat to even go up and down the stairs to go outside. So,
Oh, hell.
and he's not that fat. He's not obese, but he's a little moose.
Well, I had a cousin that had a mastiff. This thing was huge. I mean, if you could put a saddle on him, you could ride him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I've
he
seen
thought he
that.
was a lap dog. Whenever I went
Oh,
to, whenever I went to see him, the thing tried to jump in my lap. I mean, sweetest dog you'd ever want to meet, but not in my lap, man. Come on now.
yeah, no doubt.
100 pounds and shit. Yeah.
Too
Big
funny.
dog.
And they
Yeah.
remember that as a puppy, right? So probably got a lot of lap love as a puppy.
Hmm.
And they don't realize how big they get. They're like, "Oh, hey, come sit on your lap." And you're like, "Ah, you're killing me."
Exactly. His head was as big as a basketball when he was full grown. That's how big his head was.
Man, yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
mastiffs. They're mastiff.
Hmm. Exactly. And he was almost solid white. So he was a pretty dog. Like I
Oh,
said, thing you'd ever want to see. But yeah, when he tried to jump in my lap, I was like, look, I weigh like a buck 30. So this isn't gonna work.
yeah. Me
So
and you are about the same weight, there, dog. So this ain't happening. This is no good.
exactly.
Too funny. So how often do you go live? Is this pretty early for you? Is this different or?
Oh well, I woke up at like 3 o'clock and I ate some breakfast and drank some coffee and thought about it and I was like, well, okay, I'll go live. I go live randomly. There's no set time.
Right.
There's really no schedule. So I go live when I go live.
Yeah, you got to. I do apologize. I haven't fully dug through your channel there. I've got like over 300 people that I sub to. I just make sure to sub to show the support, and if I see somebody live, I'll go pop in. But I think this is the first time I've seen you live.
Oh, probably. I think I went live once last month, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Couple weeks ago.
Oh, Miss T's digging through your site there a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got to click on that live tab because I don't do pre-recorded stuff. I just don't because that's too much trouble, man. And I've usually got stuff to do. But there's a whole bunch of live shit on my channel. So.
Yeah, I was just seeing that over on her screen there. Nice.
Oh, all the way back to the days when Google Hangout was a thing. That's when I started, was when Google Hangouts was a thing. And then they nuked it for whatever reason. So.
Oh, I see. 4 years ago.
4 years ago, there's.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing it for a while. Yeah.
Nice.
It's odd that your subs are so low. You've been doing this a while.
Well, I mean, I hit past 280, so I mean, I'm getting there.
Yep. No, you're doing good. 282. I see that.
Yeah. Gotta come.
Here, I'm gonna throw a couple more at you there.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, if you don't do it with any kind of like consistency, you don't really get the 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 subs. So
Yeah.
But I do it for fun.
Promote.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make money or anything like that. I just do it for fun. I do it to come on and have conversations with people.
Okay, I think I got one more here. Where's the other one?
Well, that's why I like when y'all do an open stream. I'll come on there and we'll just talk. It's not really preset anything.
Yeah, we try to come up with an idea, at least to have something to fall back on, right? And or something to kind of touch on. But for the most part, it's usually pretty random. There we go.
Well, I mean, most of this stream I've been talking about cooking shit. So
well, we love food. That's for real. There we go. All right. There's a couple more added for you there. I got 3 more, and I made sure they all hit like.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. It's always good to be liked.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to not be liked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just forget who I am. Don't worry. There you go. Yeah. Now you get 285.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I might hit 500 one day. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh, you will.
Now, are you one of the ones? You're a what do you call it? You're a pretty old account. Did you get the community tab?
I think I do. I don't know. I'd have to go look.
Yeah, I see a community tab here.
Okay, there's probably nothing on it though.
Nope. No, nothing there. But you did get it. You used to have to get 500 subs to get the community tab.
Okay.
And that was kind of like the first, landmark or whatever. You hit that 500, then you get community tab. They changed that a couple months back.
Didn't work for me though.
No, Miss T still doesn't have one, but hers was a fairly newer account. As of I guess March, like mine, right?
No, and mine was 2010.
Oh, 2010. Oh.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah, well, she still doesn't have community tab, but she doesn't have 500 yet either. But that shouldn't matter. A lot of people are getting it now, even that don't have the 500. It's just kind of pretty random.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about YouTube. They keep changing the rules, and it's hard to read through all that crap to keep up with what their rules are now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
And you don't get a lot of notice either. That's one of the things. I did a little bit of when they just did this recent one back in January, and they actually updated everything. The notice went out in November. Never heard about it. and then
Oh yeah.
started noticing, in January is when it went into effect. And you
Right.
could, if you went and searched it and you went and dug and you found the community guidelines and policies and all that, you could see that it was updated January 25th or whatever it was. But the actual notice went out back in November. And the only way people really knew that anything had changed was they were getting their channel shut down, or one of my other people that I follow and chat with, he actually lost monetization. He lost all his members. They totally took monetization away from him, and I believe it's 2 months. I still think he's not monetized, to be honest. Yeah, January, February, we're just coming into March. So I still don't think because you got to wait a month before you can reapply, and then it takes like a month to be accepted or reaccepted or whatever it was.
And that could definitely happen to us because we covered protests.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you heard Miss T there, but that could definitely happen to us because the protests that we covered, and there's a lot of stuff on there they could go back and dig on, I guess.
Well, I had that happen to me last week. YouTube sent me an email and said, X video from last year is not suitable for people under 18.
Yep.
And so it can't be seen by people under 18. Well, my whole channel is adult 18 plus. I said it like that in the studio. So what the hell is that email about?
Yeah, that's weird. Now,
So that's why
did that particular video not get marked? Did that particular channel get not marked as not for kids?
Oh yeah, my whole channel is for 18 plus, not for children. Yeah.
Okay.
Adults only. Yeah. My whole channel is marked that way. As soon as they came out with that crap, that's what I did. I marked my whole channel 18 plus, not for adults only and not for kids. But that's why I've got the description.
Changed all the videos too, though.
Like well, I figured it would. I mean, I don't know. But this was like for Halloween last year, I think. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It sucks, is what it does. I mean, they're
it does.
They're definitely limiting, what you're able to pull off, what you're able to talk about. I mean, some of the topics that you're just not even allowed to mention, and it's a shame because it'd be nice if people could come on and have discussions about this stuff. But
oh yeah. Well, that's why I've taken to calling the recent disease the plague. That way they can't strike me for saying the C word.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And there's definitely ways around it now. I mean, if you use code words and all that, but how do you get into a conversation, and don't call this, you got to call it that, somebody's going to blurt it out, especially if you got a few people up on panel with you, or, that's where it gets a little difficult.
Yeah, it gets dicey. Yeah.
And that's like us going downtown and covering protests. You go down there, and I'm a talky person. I go down there and I'll actually chat with people and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I caught hell one day talking to one guy, and he started going into medical. I believe it was that medical that time? That one guy?
Medical misinformation.
Yeah.
No.
Talking about, things that could happen from doing things, or whatever. You could probably figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I said, whoa, I said, I'm sorry, we're on YouTube, I'm live, I can hear you out, but you can't say, well, why would I talk to you? Why, you're censoring me. And I'm like, I'm not censoring you. I said, but I'm trying to get the message out of what's going on down here and trying to show support for everybody. And, if you say that, not only could the stream will have to be pulled down, but the whole channel could get, shut down. Oh, you're censoring me, and he was actually quite upset with me, and it's all right now. I still don't talk to the guy. I see him down there, when I go down there quite often. But I told a few of the other people that I'm, quite close with down there, what had happened, and I think they had a talk with him, and they said, look, man, he's not trying to censor you. You can't say that on YouTube. And he was an older guy. He struggled with it a little bit, but it's like I said though. Since I see him and I kind of walk,
He was mad.
he was quite angry. I had to mute my stream actually for I think it was about 5 minutes, trying to explain to him, it's like it's not me, but I actually had to hit mute so that the stream wasn't picking up what he was saying, and I told him at the time, I agree with what you're saying. I know, I hear you. I'd love to have it out there, but I can't.
Yeah, YouTube will not let you talk about that stuff.
Nope.
And they're a private company. They have every right to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the government censoring you. That's what free speech is about. If the government tries to censor you, you're not the government. You know what I mean? So you're just trying to protect yourself. So.
And we're using their platform, so we're kind of stuck with
stuck with their rules. Yep.
That's exactly it.
So I mean, I get it. I was in the Army. I get what you can say and you can't say.
Yep. And you know about following the rules if you're in service. It's
oh yeah.
You don't follow the rules, your whole platoon's going to suffer for that one.
Yep.
And then they're going to catch you out behind the building.
The only way you can get away with not following the brass is if they're giving you an unlawful order. And that is in the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice. If they give you an unlawful order, you are duty bound to not comply. And if you've got to go over their head, you go over their head.
Just better be damn sure you're right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if let's say I had a captain say, wipe out this whole village full of women and children and old men, that's an illegal order because they aren't doing anything. Oh, well, here's a better example. Go over there and shoot that sergeant in the head because he didn't follow my orders. That's an illegal order. You court-martial his ass if he didn't follow your orders. There's not summarily executions anymore. Yeah. So, but we went to a dark place. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, hey man, you know what? You lived it. Thanks for the service. And you've seen this shit, I'm sure. Where all did you serve?
What'd you say?
Where all did you serve?
Oh, where did I go?
Yeah.
Everywhere, just about. If they could send me there, they sent me there. So, okay. And even if they couldn't send me there, they sent me there anyway. So.
You're going.
Yeah, I've seen lots of places and done lots of things.
How many years total?
8. I was 6 active and 2 reserve. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Your 2 reserve was that your hometown or wherever you lived?
Yeah. Nice. I'd go to the National Guard base and serve my reserve there. So.
Nice. Okay. Good stuff.
Well, I almost got called back to active duty after 9/11, after the towers and shit. But so many people were signing up after that happened that I didn't get called back. So I was like, whew.
Yeah. Well, you did your thing, but yeah, that would have sent you right out to I guess Iran and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, oh, no, Iraq or Afghanistan, one or the other.
Afghanistan, yeah.
That, from what I've heard from the people that were still in, those were just shit shows. I'm just saying. They were.
Definitely seemed rushed, and quite a bit of unorganization. I mean, obviously, it's going to be as organized. They're not just going to plop people in there, but I mean that seemed terrifying to someone that didn't. I never did serve. My dad did, but it just never happened for me. I don't know how, but
Well, you weren't dumb enough to sign up, so.
yeah, and I got to tell you, I mean, 16, 17, I mean, I had done, little bits of stuff, and, I was a partier, I was a surfer, I wasn't desirable to the military.
Oh yeah, that is kind of frowned upon. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't do anything like that as a kid, but I didn't have to tell them about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at that age, man, I can tell you now I'm the last person. I mean, I'm super supportive and I'm very team player as far as all that goes. So I mean, if I got stuck out there, I would have been as good as I could have been. I would have been loyal and whatever.
Oh,
But I still would have been thinking about surfboards and bong tokes probably.
oh, sure. Oh, I totally get that. But I grew up in a factory town, and I worked in a factory for a couple of years, and I was like, "Is this my life? Am I just going to make widgets for the rest of my life?" And I was like, "Fuck no!" And so I joined the army.
Nice.
I was like, "I'm getting the hell out of here."
Well, you know what though? I mean, and especially serving for 8 years, you've created and obviously it seems like you've been retired since before 9/11, so you've been retired for some time now. From that,
Huh?
but what you did is you created a future. You've got some security anyway.
Hmm. Well, I mean, y'all have national health care up there in Canada, and we've got the VA down here if you've served, but the VA is crap. I mean, seriously, the
Well,
VA
my
is crap.
dad actually I don't know if I can say it, but my dad actually passed too soon because of the VA, as far as I'm
Right,
concerned.
right, right.
He
I
he
get
had
it.
problems, and he ended up in an emergency situation and had to go to a local hospital. To whereas they always said VA, you go to the VA, and where he lived, the closest VA hospital was 45 minutes away from him.
That's
So it wasn't
that's
the most convenient thing to do,
right.
and his doctor was a real jerk, putting it
Hmm.
mildly. And he wouldn't run certain tests. And my dad ended up having it turned out he had cancer throughout his bowels and everything like that. And it took him to collapse and get rushed to a local hospital. And the doctor at that hospital ran the certain tests and found out that he had it. And, VA hospital never did it. But it was
Right,
by that time it was too late.
right.
It had gone into his bowel cancer, gone into his colon. I can't remember. I don't know all the details, but it had creeped up into his. He was too far gone.
Well, yeah, kind of the same thing happened to my dad. He had been a smoker forever,
My
forever,
dad,
forever.
three packs a
Yeah,
day.
yeah. And they figured out at the VA he had lung cancer. And by the time they figured it out, it had gotten into his pancreas and run up through his lymph nodes. And by the time it got to his brain, yeah, it's way too late. Way too
Yeah,
late once that happens. So
yeah.
kind of the same sort of
So that's a
situation.
bummer. I mean, it's great, that the service is there. The VA service is there if you can get in a timely, manner.
Hmm.
You mentioned Canada, same idea. Yeah, we've got national
Hmm.
health care here, but it's shit.
Right.
It's probably compared to the VA, to be honest.
Probably.
Very long wait times. There's people waiting months to try and get even like an MRI or, something, CAT scans, stuff like that, stuff, to find out what's going on. And the doctors, I mean, you can't see a doctor. There's a lot of people here that don't have a family doctor. We have one, but you can't make an appointment with him. He works like once a month or something.
Oh shit.
And you try and get a hold of him, and it's like, oh, he's got no bookings. I mean, what are we in March now? We can probably get you in July. It's like, I feel like I'm dying. Can he see me? Oh, go to the hospital. Okay, you go to the hospital and you wait in 7, 8 hours, 9 hours.
Oh yeah, you sit in the ER forever. Yeah.
Yep. So,
But yeah, once they figured out Dad had cancer, they said, "Well, do you want chemo or radiation?" He was like, "Nope," because his quality of life outweighed his quantity of life. If you know what I'm getting at.
yep, makes perfect sense. Yeah, I remember, my dad, I remember my dad smoking. He said the only difference between him and a chain smoker was that he puts his cigarettes out and lights another one.
Right. He doesn't light another cigarette off the cigarette. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he always said, And for him, when he quit, it was incredible. And he he was on oxygen at this point, and he says basically, his life has changed to breathing through a straw only. You can't take breaths in. He says it's like all your breath is through a straw.
Right. Right. I totally get that. Dad was on oxygen too. We'd have to change his oxygen tanks out. And yeah, he had that shit in his nose. And yeah, so
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. It's rough, man. It's rough to watch your dad go through something like that.
Yeah.
Especially when they get to the end. Yeah.
Hey, broke fish.
Oh, is broke fish in the chat? Oh, hey.
Yep, he just popped in there. Some eyes, some ears, some waves, some sunglasses. Being cool. Broke fishing.
Oh, hey, when you're broke fishing, you've got to dig up your own worms. You can't go buy the night crawlers and shit like that.
You can't go buy that bait. You got to go get that bait yourself and hope you're catching dinner. That's one thing I actually miss from Florida. I grew up in South Florida, and we'd fish all the time. And I remember catching fish, and I'm sure I ate fish that I wasn't supposed to eat. But basically, you knew you couldn't eat the rockfish and you couldn't eat the puffer fish.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, even if you were kind of questionable on what it was like, we're going to take that home and cook it up.
I forget where I was at, but dude was fishing off a pier, and he caught a small hammerhead shark. And he says, "I'm gonna take this home and eat it." I was like, "Okay."
Yep. No, shark's pretty good actually. There's a lot of restaurants down in Florida that would serve. They would bread them, right, and it'd be like deep fried. Fish bites.
Right. Right.
Or shark bites. Oh, you see him?
Oh, did he pop up? Oh shit! I didn't hear the beep. My bad.
I didn't hear the beep either, but guys, you don't dig from worms. You get a metal rod, you stick it in over here, and you get another one over here, and you soak that area with the garden hose, and then you put the negative and the positive off the jumper cables to it, and then going, what the hell?
Does that work?
Yes, it really does, but you should soak the yard for a while with the sprinkler for a while first, and then have them about 5 feet apart and give them just a little bit. They come wiggling up out of the ground like you wouldn't believe, because that current's going through all the water, shocking them up and out. So how you guys doing? I've been letting it roll since you started, and I seen you were on, but I was busy talking to a family member, so I just muted it and let you roll. Got to give you your time,
Oh, hey man, it's all good. It's all good. You do what you got to do. Take care of your family.
Oh, hey Rex, give us fat windows. I feel like my head's
fat
too
windows. Big. Okay, hang on. Boom.
feel like my head's too big. There we go. Now I'm chilling. All right.
Your head is.
I was
What?
getting claustrophobic. I was starting to feel like,
I know you feel all boxed in. Oh, you got a cute pup down there.
yeah, that's my co-host. He
What's
doesn't
his,
let me out of his sight. Actually,
what's his name?
that's Buddy. But I bought him. He wouldn't stop barking. Would not stop. His own shadow would make him bark for 20 minutes.
Oh,
I
he's
sold
pretty
him to
sweet.
my mother-in-law for what I bought him for. Yeah. I'll pay. I'm like, pay me when you get it. She never did pay me. When she passed away, the whole family tried to take him, and I just went, that ain't happening. I never got paid for him. Give me my dog.
That's right.
She taught him not to bark unless there's something actually going down. He's worse than my pit bull. He hangs himself off my pit bull at least once a day. You know, I'm more worried about him. But the cool thing is I actually have an injury to my head. I have a TBI, and I came out of a stroke I have seizures now. She trained him to tell her when I was going to have a seizure so she could make me go sit down on the couch, or depending on how I was acting, lay down. He still does it.
Wow. That's
And
incredible. And I've seen
wow,
people.
wow. How is he a service dog? I'm like, he's not to carry stuff or grab stuff. He is to alert me by doing certain actions that, hey, Dad, you need to sit down. Shit's getting ready to get real, Dad. Sit down.
Dogs can be amazing, especially the service ones, man. That's a big deal.
My wife, she passed away a year after her mom, but my wife trained the pit bull to pick up things and do a couple other things for her. If I have women over and I can drop something. He runs in, picks it up, and takes it to the woman. I'm like, you brat, I dropped that. But he was trained to pick up things for mom, so I don't hold it against him. The girls always, I like to kick the remote off. They're like, I'm not going to pick that up. I'm like, you don't have to. Watch. He comes in, grabs it, takes it over to them, sets it in their lap. They're like, no. I'm like, give it a minute or two and drop it on the floor. And he does
You
it
just got to
again.
make sure you don't drop your wallet.
Yeah, well, I don't keep that in the back. I don't keep that where it's available. That thing's stashed unless I need it.
Especially when the women come over, right?
I don't even carry it when I go to town. I take what I think I need. If I didn't have enough, oh well, I didn't get what I needed.
Nice.
I didn't get the extras, but
Mm-hmm.
I budget quite well. I'm a miser. I'm a hoarder. It's mine. You can't have it.
It's mine.
I want to keep it for another few days. You can't have it. Adults? Who's adult? Oh no. Are we adult? Damn it.
Yeah, I think that happened a few years ago.
Oh shit. Oh, maybe when I grew this out.
Yep.
So how you doing, Clockwork?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Man, you sound
Oh,
like
we got Pig and Undead Ramen in here. Oh, hey guys. Okay.
you sound exactly like another YouTuber I know.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Do you go
I've
over?
had people call me Australian before, and I thought that was hilarious.
You don't sound like an Australian man.
Well, I've had some people say that. It just makes me laugh.
Yeah, I've talked to quite a few Australians downtown and online, and yeah, no, I wouldn't have pegged you for that one.
I actually, when I was still working, I'm a firefighter, and they'd bring up some of the Australians. I actually got a guy I met the third year I was into it. And for years, he's high up in the fire chain. He's high up in the chain, and I'd be I'd be at I'd be at the morning meetings because I'm a foreman on a crew, and I got to be at the meetings. And first, there's a whole new group of incident commanders, and he's one of the guys taking over, and I'm standing there, and he's looking, and he does his thing, and he looks, and I'm like, "What? Don't you recognize me?" And he goes, "It is you." Big old hug back to it, and everybody was like, "You know him? He's like way high up in the incident command chain." And I go, "I've known him for years. What are you talking about?" And all he'd say is, "I hate to do it, but I got a really hard job. And since I know exactly which crews are here by which foremans are here, I'm assigning those guys." And he points at my crew, "This job." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." They're like, "See, you knowing the guy just got us hard work." I go, "Yeah, let's hear what the job is." "Oh, you guys got initial attack all day." "Oh, that's a real easy job, but it can turn really hard really quick." So
Well, guys, I've got Brokefish. Super nice meeting you, Rex. Great seeing you. I've got to head off. I've got
Just saying 3:30 a.m.
yeah, three.
Vic,
Oh, is she
BC,
typing?
do you live in British Columbia?
Yep,
Okay. I
yep.
picked up on that.
Victoria, BC.
I'm just down the coast from you and down the mountain chain from you in Oregon, sitting in the Cascades right now.
Oh, nice. Hey, so you share kind of our weather a little bit. You're a little further south, but not too much.
Yeah, I had frozen rain today. Not hail, not rain, but frozen rain. I'm like, never seen that for a couple years.
Yeah, what was that yesterday? We got hail. Yeah, yesterday hail. It snowed a few times. There's still snow on the ground in some spots, just off to the sides there in the shade, I guess.
Hey,
Oh,
I
yeah.
got one for you. Did you hear about San Bernardino down in the San Bernardino Mountains down in California? There's a really bad, well, yesterday it was still going, but there's a gas leak burning off of one of the main lines. The trees within distance of the burning aren't even burning because it's so wet, and they're having to use snowcats to get to it and hoping they can. It's crazy down there this year.
Wow.
They stole our weather from us.
I saw, I was I have a weather program, and once in a while on our channel we'll do some extreme weather. We just did the tornadoes going through Missouri and or not Missouri. Was it Missouri?
Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma. What's right
Yeah,
above Oklahoma?
I've seen all those. I sort of send everybody over to Ryan Hall, y'all, for that, but
Yeah.
he doesn't really cover the West Coast a lot. So I have that weather training for my wildfire classes. They make you take classes that you're like, why am I in a weather class? Okay.
But when we cover it only when it's kind of extreme, when it involves, like people we know. We knew people right in that area. So we were, we threw up a live for it. We bought the program because my mom still lives in Florida. So we bought it for the hurricanes to track those. But when I pulled it up the other day, I noticed that Southern California, they got like blizzard warnings.
Yeah, San Bernardino Mountains right outside LA. It's so bad there that they have houses that there's people stuck and can't get out. And that's where that gas line fire's at, is up in the San Bernardino Mountains, 7 to 10 feet of snow on top of the ground, and they're having to dig out to shut their meters out. And you know
smokes.
Imagine what that's like. You start at roof level and you're like, well, I think the gas meter's right here. Could you imagine missing it by 3 feet and having to start over?
Oh,
you can't digging sideways.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right,
Rex. I'm out of here. Much loves. Brokefish, you take it easy. We'll see you around, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I surf a lot of channels.
Nice. Good stuff. All right, we
Oh,
are
hey,
out of here. You guys have a good one.
I appreciate you letting me into your Discord and letting me post all that crazy ass music that I posted.
It's been great.
Yeah, Miss T's been in there. I've got to get in there a little bit more. I'm not great with Discord, so it's very new to me. But that's how I knew you were live tonight. Because I was just kind of, well, actually, I'll be honest, I was just kind of hanging out in video game and watching some streams over on the other monitor. So just kind of literally just chilling, taking it easy, tonight. And then noticed that you were live on YouTube, and then she had seen you on the Discord, and it's like, oh, cool. And you were live. It's like, oh, hey.
I actually got notified by YouTube that you were live, which they haven't.
Oh, did you actually get the YouTube notification? That is amazing.
Yeah, they haven't been telling me anything lately.
It's rare these days.
I found 4 of the channels I follow actually had the bells unclicked, and I'm like, wait a minute, I follow these channels regularly. I hit the bell once a week just to make sure I'm getting it, and the bell was unclicked. I'm like, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Pretty common.
Hey, and
all right, good night, guys. Have a good one.
All right, y'all take care.
Have a nice night.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
Clockwork, did you know you have a new setting in StreamYards called headlines?
Oh yeah, it didn't show up, so I don't know. I might have to log out and log back in, and then it'll show up.
Oh wow!
But it shows up sometimes.
Oh, because I was just gonna let you know it's over there under branding, where you turn on the names for the screen names. It's right below that. It's right below that, and you have to make sure that's checked. But hey, I'm just trying to help people use the new features. I actually just accepted one of my friends, Creek Squad, who does basically nightly, but he's really been needing a co-host, somebody to talk to while you're doing stuff and to help you with the technical stuff while the channel host is actually busy with the chat and doing other stuff. It just gives you somebody to help bring people up or bring up what they've set up to show. And so I'm learning a whole new thing on StreamYards, excuse me.
Oh, you're fine. But no, yeah, they keep changing. They keep changing shit on YouTube and in StreamYard, so it's kind of a little bit hard to keep up sometimes. So
yeah, StreamYard has a YouTube page, and I actually go over to the YouTube page and do things. And like tomorrow, they will have, if you look at StreamYard on YouTube or Facebook, they will have a question and answer tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Where you can go up on there and ask them questions. They have tutorials. They actually announce on their page when they bring out a new feature. They put a video up, usually sometimes short, sometimes long, but I'm pretty sure it is tomorrow, the question and answer. They're going to have a whole thing where you can go up and ask them questions. Not everybody gets their question brought up and answered, but we don't get it unless we ask them or go watch, because sometimes my questions answered before I ever ask it because somebody else did. I just thought I'd come in, see how you're doing tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing up, and good talk. Anything else you want to talk about?
No. Anything you've been? Like I said, I had you muted for a while, so I'm not sure what you already covered.
Crazy. Mostly food, mostly cooking.
Oh, that stuff I don't do much.
Fair enough.
I used to cook all the time with my late wife before she died. So cooking in the kitchen's real. I mean, we were daily in the kitchen together to the point of where we didn't really have to talk. We knew what each other was doing. You could hand each other, you know, I know she's going to be using the Mrs. Dash. You hand it to her right when she's looking for it. She'd be like, "How'd you know?" Or, you know what I mean. You get when you cook with somebody, you know, you think ahead. She did a lot of baking,
Oh, okay.
cinnamon rolls. She made the old school cinnamon rolls like grandma used to make. My wife was really into doing those.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, my grandma had a lot of recipes that she kept in her head and never wrote down. So they're
Yeah.
gone. Yeah, they're gone.
My wife actually did. She's got a like cooking journal. She started writing them all down and finding the ones that her grandma had wrote down for her, and she put them in her journal, and it helps a little. But there's a couple of those recipes that was just me and her together. We did it so much that it's still here. I just don't do it.
Right. I get it. I get it.
So you, what kind of music you like to post?
Mostly heavy metal. Mostly.
Oh, cool. It's so hard
That's
to.
what I grew up on. So yeah.
Well, me too. You know, sick product of the '60s. Grew up in the '70s and '80s, and my dad was a heavy metal military member, is what I used to call him, because we listened
Yeah.
to a lot of hard rock in my dad's house.
Oh yeah, a lot of Black Sabbath, a lot of Led Zeppelin, a lot of Megadeth and Metallica when it got to the 80s, and in the 90s it kind of just dropped off. I kind
Yep.
of got into grunge a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, my dad at least once a week you'd hear In the Gata Davida playing at full volume.
Hmm.
Iron Butterfly, those guys back then. There was a lot of that. My dad was really cool. Go down, buy a new album. Let's go. My parents parted ways. Just, but we'd go over to my dad's house. He had a bitchin' full wall of speakers. You could vibrate the house if you wanted to. I got we'd go over and play on my dad's stereo. He came home early one day. We're in there listening to the new Ozzy album, and my dad goes, "All right, that's it. I told you boys, if you use my system, it's my rules. And you messed with my settings." And
Hmm.
friends like, I'm like, "Oh no, here we go." My friend's like, "Oh shit, we're in so much trouble." My dad walked over there, picked the needle up, put it on the beginning, reached over and turned the volume all the way up. If the neighbors ain't complaining, you ain't listening at the right level. And walked into the kitchen to do his whatever and listen. We got to listen to Ozzy at full volume.
Oh
he,
yeah, Ozzy was good.
yep,
I mean, he still is, but he can't tour anymore, from
yeah.
what I've heard.
He
Yeah.
actually put out a notice. I've seen a notice by him on his YouTube page that he's officially retired. Retired. He's
Right.
not touring, not singing anymore. He's Ozzy's retired. I don't blame him. Let's hope he has something to do besides what happened last time he tried to retire.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, how long's he been at it?
Oh my
Fucking,
God, longer than
yeah,
I.
over 50 years. Over 50 years.
Yeah, he deserves the break. Well, he tried to retire when they were doing the Osbournes, and that didn't work out. And he admitted it himself. His retirement turned into him drinking, and it just didn't work out. You got to have, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I've heard it. And then they did that paranormal show with his son Jake.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch any of that. I don't have cable. I'm really boycotting the mainstream TV thing,
Well,
so I
fair
didn't
enough.
get to watch that.
I watched a couple of episodes. They're okay. I mean, they're not great, but they're okay. They're not horrible. I'll put it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're on a channel where this will be appreciated.
Hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see.
At least you would appreciate what my avatar is.
Oh wait, hang on. Let me full screen you.
I bet you even know who it is.
Uh, well, fuck. Is that how I do it? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the Trooper. Oh fuck yeah, Iron Maiden. Fuck yeah.
yeah. That's the That's Eddie as the American Gunny. He's got the Marine Corps flag. It's my brother the Gunny sent this to me. He's the only one. He's the only true authorized animation that the Marine Corps accepts.
Oh wait, your brother is a jarhead.
Yes,
No, I
my
didn't mean that. I didn't mean that in a derogatory way. But you
Oh
know.
nope, they don't take it in that way. Yep, my brother's a gunny. He's not just a jarhead. He's a gunny,
Okay, fair enough.
and you know it if you ignore that guy. He makes sure he's really cool with me, but you know he's my brother, and I've dealt with him for so long. I'm one of the few people that when he gets going can calm him down. Hey man, it's not worth it. What's going to happen? You're going to hurt him. We're going to have to talk to those people with bubble gums on flashing lights on top of their car. We're going to waste drinking time. Well, we just go drink and you can leave the idiot alone. And he can just go contemplate how I saved him tonight. People look at you strange and I go, he's a Marine. Do you want me to let him loose on you? He does have the boots of understanding on tonight.
Mhm.
And, some people get it. Some people are like, what? Dude, I'm trying. Just walk away. I got his attention. Just walk away.
Just let it go, man. Just let it go. But yeah, I dated a few Marine chicks, and they're pretty wild. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, they're fun. I
They'll
think
show you a good time. Yeah.
I I think some of the most fun I've had out drinking has been with my brother and his friends, his fellow. Well, he was a gunny. He used to call him in the grunt. We're going drinking with the grunts. Get ready. Oh my
Hmm.
God, you guys again. But I've had some of the most fun drinking with them.
Oh,
Sometimes,
sure.
sometimes it gets really intense, but most of the time it was just a bunch of fun. And
Oh
there's
yeah. When they get so drunk, they start telling stories. It can get intense. Yeah, it can get
or
really intense.
or somebody makes the wrong comment, it can get intense.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just sat back at one of the places we used to go to all the time, and the bartender goes, well, I've already been told if blah, 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 if the gunny, and he'd say his last name's in here, and you fit the description of one of the guys that can stop him. Aren't you going to stop him? I'm like, dude, do you think I'm going to get in the middle of three of them cleaning house? You're nuts. I can stop one. I can make him think for a minute to where it re-engages, but I can't stop all three of them when they're on this. They're cleaning your bar out of people who run their mouths. I'm not getting in the middle of that. Pour me another shot of tequila, buddy.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit back and watch. Yeah.
Yup. I'm just going to sit down here at the end of the bar and I'm going to watch, and let's watch out for flying bar stools because I have seen that happen. What?
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
come on, dude. You got to know what I'm talking about. That bartender's like, what do you mean? I go, you don't realize how many jarheads are in your bar right now? And they're regulars. I've seen them here before. What do you mean? There's only I go, oh no, dude, you got like 6 of them in here. You see the ones that have moved themselves away from the tables and are like intently watching, like they're waiting for something so they can get up too. Those are jarheads, dude, and they're watching
Mhm.
the gunny have fun. Okay, are you sure? I'm positive. I actually knew a couple of them, but
Wow.
so what else you doing tonight?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just
Just
kind of sitting here. Yeah.
just bringing in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Sunday where I am, so people don't do work on Sunday where I am. They go to church. So we did all our work yesterday and last week to get everything situated. So
Yeah, it's Sunday morning for us too. Uh, you know, a lot of people go to church, but I didn't see some of my usual pages I follow even streaming tonight. There was like, I don't know what happened. They're usually up and they're not. It was like, what the heck's going on?
oh well, you never can tell. It could be this, it could be that. You know, something happened and they aren't streaming. So
Yep. Yeah. None of them came up.
well,
Uh,
that's why I figured I'd stream today. You know, gives everybody some place to go and talk, and you know.
yeah. I got one more place to go. While I was over on Creek Squads, I brought up another one, but I've been letting them. I've been giving them their view time. You know, got to give the people who you support and possibly support you their view time.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hit the subscribe, but it's another thing, even if you're busy, to go start their live or their video and let it sit there and roll, even when you're busy. You know, and I don't know. My computer can handle it, so I'm not worried about it.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll pull up somebody's stream that I like and just let it run while I'm like cleaning shit up or making food or doing whatever and just
Yeah,
let it run. Yeah.
I do the same thing too. Well, you got 4 watching and you started 2 hours ago. Cool. Oh, I forgot to hit that thumbs up. Hey, everybody, hit the thumbs up. And there, I hit the thumbs up. I made a comment in chat, so that should help your algorithm all the way around. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
I always try to do that. Say something in chat, hit the thumbs up, and let it roll, even if you're busy or like doing something else or in another panel. That reminds me, did I thumbs up Bonnie tonight? Oh, I did right off the bat. Cool. Oh, that's where everybody's at. No wonder they're not up. I should
Where'd
have
they
known.
go?
They're over at Bonnie's.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Anti's over there. Huckleberry. Who else? Kimmy. Tennessee Ridge Runner. Well, it's not a whole bunch, but it says there's 36 watching. That's just like normal. There's like usually 3, 4, maybe 5 in the chat, and the rest are just like, oh, Peanuts, Nana is over there. Yeah, there's a bunch over there.
Well, okay. We'll drop the link in the private chat, and we can head over there if you want to.
Oh, that's up to you. I'm not trying to get you to shut your stream down, but I was going to go over there and jump up on the panel,
Well,
Here,
go ahead. Hey, feel free.
I'll put Bonnie's link in the private chat for you if you feel
Okay.
like she's pretty cool. I have a lot of fun over there when I stop in. Usually on this night, I'm over in the shit show, the drama page, trying to keep drama going. But I don't know. I got bored for a while. I just haven't felt like doing it. And they're not up right now either, which is totally abnormal for me. I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm gonna go hit all these other people up that I haven't seen in a while. Which is always nice to do.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh,
I appreciate you stopping by.
Gear
Yeah.
Changer down in Australia is up. Why isn't it telling me Gear Changer's up? That's weird. He's
It's YouTube, man. It is the YouTube bullshit. Same thing, same day. So
yeah. I don't know. It, it didn't tell me, but I go in and hit live, and there he is. But I didn't get a notification he's up. And he's been up for almost an hour because I'm able to go look at his time. He's been up for 42 minutes, and I have no notification, and I'm looking back an hour and a half now. No notification. And I go over to Gear Changers all the time. It's crazy. I don't know. YouTube's gotten weird with the way they do things. Well, thanks for having me up. I'm gonna go bug Bonnie. I might drop down and bug Gear Changer down there, down under. I think I'll go bug. I think I'll go bug Gear Changer first, but you know how that goes. Got to
well,
give.
and yeah, I appreciate you coming up and being here and having a chat.
Your voice reminds me a lot of another channel I follow.
Well, I am from the South, so that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and you might have a talk with Mr. B like every other night or something. Maybe sound a lot like him. I won't sit. All right. Well, thanks for having me up, and I've been letting it play since you come up, so you got some view time too, Clockwork. And I'll talk to you
I
later.
appreciate that.
You have a nice evening. I mean,
you do the same.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Well, okay. If anybody's still hanging out in the chat, I appreciate y'all coming by. Like I said, I just come on here and talk shit mostly. And this channel, this channel is for adults only. If you can't handle hearing some kind of crazy shit and foul language, then don't fucking come here. Okay? And that goes for you too, YouTube. If you don't like hearing me say cuss words or talk about shit that you don't like, then don't fucking come here. And I appreciate Mrs. T and Vic and Brokefish, thanks for coming up. I loved having y'all on here. And maybe I'll stream again one day. We'll see. Ha 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 ha. But I'm going to end this now and go fuck around somewhere else. And we'll see what's going on. So, you guys take care. I appreciate all of you who showed up in chat, and I appreciate all of you who showed up on panel. So, I will talk to y'all later. And ending the stream in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.